King Charles outrageously destroys Meghan after she blackmails him for not stripping Sussex titles. 5 years in jail. King Charles and British government sue Harry for holding talks with First Nation chief. King Charles and the British government sued Harry. They were holding ranks with the First Nation chief. In a surprising turn of events, the British government has filed a lawsuit against Prince Harry, accusing him of misrepresenting himself during talks with First Nations head in Canada. The case has sparked a heated debate, raising questions about the roles and boundaries of members of the royal family, as well as diplomacy and advocacy for marginalized communities. In the legal battle, the focus should be on resolving the fundamental issues facing Indigenous communities and finding a path towards reconciliation. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on the allegations and controversies. And during the first visit to First Nation last month, Prince Harry took part in discussions about opportunities for collaboration and support for challenges facing Indigenous communities. However, the British government challenges and alleges that Prince Harry misrepresented himself during these negotiations and made commitments on behalf of the government without appropriate authorization. They say his actions have undermined diplomatic efforts and jeopardized relationships with First Nations communities. The lawsuit filed by British government demands financial compensation and a public apology from Prince Harry. Legal experts are closely reviewing the case to determine whether Prince Harry overstepped the boundaries of the law. Is he truly acting in the interest of the First Nations communities? The outcome of this case could set an important precedent for how members of the royal family engage in diplomacy and represent the government. The real intention is to push the boundaries. Prince Harry's supporters say his intentions are sincere and his campaigning efforts should be commended. They highlight his long-standing commitment to philanthropy and his personal interest in raising awareness of the challenges facing Indigenous communities today. Prince Harry has been actively involved in various charitable efforts, particularly related to mental health and veterans issues. His visit to the First Nations Reserve was seen as an extension of his genuine dedication to drawing attention to the struggles faced by marginalized communities. On the other hand, critics say that Prince Harry, as a member of the royal family, should have followed strict regulations and sought appropriate permissions before making commitments on behalf of the government. They say his actions could have unintended consequences for diplomatic relations between British governments and First Nations communities. From their perspective, Prince Harry's well-intentioned efforts may have unintentionally undermined the delicate balance in diplomacy, with wider implications beyond the immediate legal battle. This case has important implications for the royal family and its role in foreign affairs. The outcome will shape the royal family members' future engagement with various communities, both domestically and internationally. It's necessary to strike a balance that allows for advocacy and cooperation without encroaching on the responsibilities and prerogatives of future governments. While the lawsuit is taking center stage, it is important to remember the underlying issues facing Indigenous communities that deserve attention and action. Prince Harry's visit to the First Reserve Nations shed light on the challenges that they face every day, such as inadequate healthcare, education, and economic opportunities. There needs to be a continued focus on addressing these systemic issues and working towards a more inclusive and equitable society. Beyond legal proceedings, it is important that all parties involved engage in dialogue and find a path towards reconciliation. The case is an opportunity to promote greater understanding between the UK government and Indigenous nations communities by acknowledging past mistakes, listening to the concerns of Indigenous peoples, and collaborating to find meaningful solutions that can establish a stronger foundation for mutual respect and cooperative activity. The case against Prince Harry has sparked a fierce debate about the boundaries and responsibilities of members of the royal family, as well as diplomatic commitments, as the legal battle rages on. It's essential not to ignore the fundamental issues facing Indigenous communities. Instead of focusing solely on Prince Harry's actions, attention should shift to addressing challenges and finding sustainable solutions. Ultimately, this incident could act as a catalyst for positive change, promoting greater understanding and cooperation between the UK government and marginalized communities.